Go.
That was a bad start, wasn't it? Gave me a lovely countdown, all I did was cough. And we're looking at the 12 disciples today. And the reason that I decided to look at the 12 disciples was, I don't know, maybe it was the wrong reason initially, but maybe it wasn't. Anyway, I was doing an assembly at Summerfield Primary, and I also run their football team. And under careful management, their football team has got to the quarter final of the Ireland Cup. Do you like my football manager's coat? I got this specially put on that. Just around about football manager. TM. You're never too old to have fun. Never too old to live to drink. Anyway, we got to the quarterfinals of the Cup. I wanted to big that up when I did the assembly. So I was praying, I was saying, God, how can I big up the football team and big you up at the same time? And I was going through the Bible and saying, God, there's got to be a football story in the Bible somewhere. So I had to read, and there's nothing about football in the Bible. It's got forgotten his name. Ran in front of the chariot. Come on, ran in front of the chariot. I know, but I'm testing you. No, he cheated Elijah, that's right. Elijah ran in front of the chariot for miles in front of Ahab's chariot. That's a sporty little number. There's probably also other sporty things in the Bible, but nothing about football. I thought, what can we do here, Lord? But then I thought, of course, the 12 disciples as a team. And it kind of was 11, really, wasn't it? So I thought, yeah, that's a good one. So I started working on this assembly about the 12 disciples, and it went really well. And of course, as I pray into it, I start to find things I can share with the church then. And so this message grew. Well, I thought it was a really good message. Did you know that before Jesus chose the 12 disciples, he spent the night in prayer? Let's have a look at this. Luke chapter 6, verse 12 to 16. It says, one of those days Jesus went out to a mountainside to pray and spent the night praying to God. Wow. When morning came, he called his disciples to him and chose 12 of them, whom he also designated apostles. So he spent the night in prayer, then he made some big decisions. And not everybody kind of agrees with his decisions. Some people thought his decisions weren't very good. There's a great management thing up, which I'll put up on it. Yeah, where's the management one that we put in about the disciples' CV? Martin put it in somewhere. You may have heard this one. It's right at the end. But anyway, some people think that Jesus' 12 disciples weren't really good. This is something I found about, you may have seen, it's quite well known. It's from a recruitment firm, Jordan Management Consultants. And, you know, they do the recruitment thing, finding you the right person for your business so you don't have to, and all that sort of stuff. Let's have a look what they came up with. Dear sir, thank you for submitting the resumes of the 12 men you have picked for managerial positions in your new organisation. All of them have now taken our battery of tests, and we have not only run the results through our computer, but also arranged personal interviews for each of them with our psychologist and vocational aptitude consultant. The profiles of all tests are included, and you will want to study each of them carefully. As part of our service, we make some general comments for your guidance. This additional insight is given as a result of staff consultation and comes without any additional fee. It's good, isn't it? In our opinion, it is our opinion that most of your nominees are lacking in the background, education and vocational aptitude for the type of enterprise that you are undertaking. They do not have the team concept. We would recommend that you continue your search for persons of experience and managerial ability and proven capability. Ooh, Simon Peter is emotionally unstable and given to fits of temper. Andrew has absolutely no qualities of leadership. The two brothers James and John, the sons of Zebedee, place personal interest above company loyalty. Thomas demonstrates a questioning attitude that would tend to undermine morale. we feel that it is our duty to tell you that Matthew has been blacklisted by the Greater Jerusalem Better Business Bureau. James, the son of Alphaeus, and Thaddeus definitely have radical leanings, and they both registered a high score on the manic depressive scale. One of the candidates, however, shows great potential. He is a man of ability and resourcefulness, meets people well and has a keen business mind, and has contacts in high places. He is highly motivated, ambitious and responsible. We recommend Judas Iscariot as your controller and right-hand man. All of the other profiles are self-explanatory. We wish you every success in your new venture. Sincerely, Jordan Management Consultants. What they're saying is the choice of the 12 disciples didn't seem very logical. He called fishermen, dirty old, smelly old fishermen, tax collectors, all sorts, these zealots, people who were freedom fighters. He called a whole mix of people and said, hey, follow me. But yet, he wasn't wrong and he didn't make mistakes. And I thought, what a fantastic thing to talk about, because he's called us. He's called us here. And he hasn't made mistakes either in calling us. And I thought we can just learn from some of these situations. I've got them all listed on the Bible study notes. We haven't got time to go through them all. But I just want to go through some of them. Maybe you can have a look at the other ones later on. Let's have a look. I mean, Peter, there's a lot talked about Peter. Peter, great man, isn't he, Peter? Yeah. He has highs and lows, denies Jesus, restored. Ultimately, he's chosen to be the leader of the gang. And some people might say, a bit impetuous for a leadership, not stable enough. But God knows our heart. And it says that in Psalm 44. But I like to have a little look at Andrew. Because Peter was the main man. You read the Bible, it's Peter this, Peter that, Peter the other, Peter. It's a lot of Peter. But let's have a look at Andrew. Andrew's big claim to fame, we can read about it in John 1, verse 40, is that he was the one who brought Peter to Jesus. It says here, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, was one of the two who heard what John had said and had followed Jesus. The first thing Andrew did, as soon as he followed Jesus, the first thing he did was to find his brother Simon, Simon Peter, and tell him, we have found the Messiah. That is the Christ. And he brought him to Jesus. And Jesus said, you are Simon, son of John. You will be called Cephas, which means Peter or rock. So Andrew followed Jesus. As soon as he's following Jesus, I'm going to get my brother into this one. It's a good one. He brought his brother with him. And that's great, isn't it? Do you know, we may never be a great leader. We may never get to preach sermons or do anything flash. Probably a good thing, because it's overrated in a lot of ways, because other things are just as important. But think about it. The next person that we talk to about Jesus, the next person we take some time to talk to and explain the good news, could be the person who's actually going to, because they're that type of person, going to make some big differences in their world that we could never make. So we can draw from that. Just keep telling the good news. Keep taking every opportunity that we get to just share the good news, because you don't know what God's going to do with that person that you share it with. And I talk a lot about spheres of influence. Every individual has a different sphere of influence, a different sort of circle of people that we affect. Like Morgan, for example. Yes, Morgan. He stopped playing his game. Mum's taken over. That Morgan has a different people around him that we just don't know, we couldn't affect, but Morgan can. It's the same for each one of us. We've got people around us that no one else can affect, but we can. So it's the same for every individual. Everybody's significant. And as we take the time to tell those that we love about Jesus, they will affect people that no one else can. And that's how the good news spreads. So, fantastic. So that's Andrew's claim to fame. I just want to tell you this one because it's funny. James and John. I'm going to read it. Luke chapter 9, verse 51-56. This makes me laugh. Please be in there. Because I'm relying on this because I haven't bought any paper versions of Bible. I thought it's going to... I'm just going to have a little think now. Luke 9, verse 51-56. It's a great story. It's a great story. It's in that computer somewhere. Oh, Chris is finding it for me. Luke 9. Yay, paper wins today. Thank you. Note to self: have a paper backup. Right, I do love this story. Where are we? A Samaritan village refuses to believe Jesus. Jesus sent messengers ahead of him into a village in Samaria to get everything ready for him. But the people there would not receive him because it was clear that he was on the way to Jerusalem. They didn't like people from Jerusalem. When the disciples, James and John, saw this, they said, "Lord," I love this, "Lord, do you want us to call down fire from heaven and destroy them?" Jesus turns to them and said basically, "No, no thank you." Says he rebukes them. But I think that's really funny because just imagine being there, you know, people giving Jesus a hard time. Yeah, we're with Jesus, we're well hard. Do you want us to call down from fire from heaven and kill them off? I mean, imagine if Jesus had said yes. They go, fire from heaven. They couldn't do it anyway. I mean, what a stupid thing to say. It's like, I call that a fiery, passionate personality. But you see, Jesus took that fiery, passionate personality, he took it and he harnessed it and he used that personality for his glory. And this is the great thing. Whatever personality we have, and I've got to be careful now with who I catch the eye of, whether it's fiery and passionate or whether it's quiet and shy, Jesus will use that personality for his glory. We don't have to change our personalities. We don't have to have a personality transplant. We just have to say, God, this is my personality, this is who I am, and I'm committed to you now. And he will take that personality and he will use it for his glory. Paul was zealous before he became a Christian. He zealously went around beating the Christians up and throwing them in prison, getting them murdered. When he became a Christian, he lost none of that personality. He just focused his zealousness on God. You see, God can use whatever personality we have. Again, because out there in the world there's a whole load of personalities. And if you've got a, whoa, extrovert personality, some people will love it, some people will hate it. If you've got a nice quiet personality, some people will kind of like that. You see, so the body of Christ needs all sorts of personalities. So we don't need to change our personality, we just need to give it to God and let him focus it a bit. And that's the good thing. Let him harness our personalities. There's some great things here. Here's another one. I can't go through them all. But Nathaniel, otherwise known as Bartholomew, this is John 1, verse 47. Jesus saw him and he points to him and he says, "Here's a man in whom there is nothing false." And we're talking about being a witness for God. What a great thing for somebody to say about you. Do you know, this world is full of lies and deceit and falsehood and people telling fibs all over the place. Imagine the effect of people thinking, yeah, here's someone in whom there's nothing false. Here's a person of truth. That goes a long, long way in this world. And ultimately, it's respected in the workplace as well. If we bring that to the workplace, we're going to succeed long term. Short term, a little lie might just help a little bit, but I didn't say that. You know, short term, we might think a little lie might help a little bit, but long term it doesn't. Long term, truth wins all the time. Truth. And as we're people of truth, and as people can say that about us, here's a man, here's a woman, here's a person, here's a child, here's a young person. I've covered everyone now. In whom there is nothing false. How good is that to have that said about you? Wow, there's some great stuff here. Thomas, I'm not going to go on about Thomas doubting, I'm going to go on about Thomas opening his big mouth. Thomas, as soon as he heard Jesus had risen from the dead, he goes, oh yeah, well I have to see him myself, I have to see where the nails went and that, and then I'll believe. But also, another time, when Jesus was going off to see Lazarus, his friend who died, he goes, yeah, let's go that we may also die with him. Thomas, just had to open his mouth. He didn't even put his brain in gear before he opened his mouth. And the Bible's got lots to say about that. And there's some good lessons to learn. Which basically is keep your mouth shut until you've got your thoughts in gear. James 1:19, if we've got that, says, my dear brothers and sisters, please take note of this. Everybody should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. Has anybody ever said anything that they regret? Yes! Well, there's some good advice. Like your tongue counts 10, you know, this is where it comes from. Also, Proverbs is full of good stuff. 17:28. Ka-ching. Even a fool is thought wise if he keeps silent. So even if you're a fool, you can double your wiseness by just keeping quiet occasionally. So I think I'll better sit down. But it's just good advice, isn't it? Like trumpet, that's how you like that. Right. Well, so that's Thomas. There's loads of other things. Was there another? Oh yeah, I just want to say this one, then we can all carry on. James and Thaddeus. James and Thaddeus. Can anyone tell me anything that James, the son of Alphaeus, and Thaddeus did? From your extensive Bible knowledge? Well, click. Now I can't either. But I can tell you this, they were listed. They were in the team. Make some team players. And do you know what? From my knowledge of football, the most important player in the team is the holding midfield player. All the holding midfield player does is wins the ball, pass it to someone, wins the ball, pass it to someone, wins the ball, pass it to someone. That's all they do, they break up play. And they're never on the score sheet, they never get any assists, they're never in the papers, they never make the headlines. They're just there, doing their job. And do you know what? It's an important thing, it's underrated. Not to try and be the big I am in the church, but to play our role and to play it well. And like I say, everyone's got a sphere of influence, everyone's got a role. We've been unblocking drains this week, haven't we? Do you know, that role is so important, because if those drains weren't unblocked, then you wouldn't be enjoying the sermon. Do you see what I'm saying? It's the small things that are significant. You know, who had a good welcome this morning? A few of you, good. It's the welcome team doing the role. You see, that's what it's all about. It's about the children's workers doing their role, and the people who Sally Pressgang asked. I don't know.
I think they volunteered.
They volunteered, but it's about people doing their role, playing their role, taking their part. It doesn't have to be big things. You know, it's the little things that tip us all over, isn't it? It's the little things that aren't done on a Sunday morning that tip me over and make me go crazy. So as we work together, just doing our part and doing it well, that's significant for the kingdom. That's significant for growth. I could tell you lots more, but I'll just leave you with the wanted sign. Wanted disciples. Huge reward. The only ability required is availability. If you like drawing, draw your own little face in there. Draw your face in there. Smiley face. You like drawing. You're not even drawing this morning. I did 4 drawing tables for you.
No, we've actually got that.
Oh, I'll get you one. I'll bring it forward. Anyway, you can draw your face in there, but God wants disciples. And it's not big players, it's not superstars. He wants just people following him, bringing the personalities and the giftings to him. Come here. We're going to leave it there. Yay, Dad.